So this is lesson 3-1, part 2. We're talking about linear equations, and now we're going to take those linear equations and we're going to graph them. So in pre-algebra, we graphed equations basically a couple of different ways. This one is one that works for a certain way the problem's written. Honestly, if it is written in standard form, the x and y intercept way for graphing is by far the quickest. If it's written in slope-intercept form, well, we've done that a lot, where you put a point on the y-intercept and then you count your rise over run and you draw the line. We've done that a couple of times. So this is really when they're already written in standard form. So we're going to graph these lines using x and y intercept. Let's talk about x and y intercept just a little bit here so you see what we're talking about. The x and y intercept are the points where it crosses the x and y axis. It looks like to me right now I've got those two things interchanged, because this point right here is the y-intercept and this point right here is the x-intercept. So please change that on your notes. I don't know what I was thinking, but I did these a couple years ago. So the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Notice on the y-intercept, the ordered pair would be the point 0, comma, whatever that y number is. The x-intercept, where it crosses the x-axis, is an ordered pair. X is the first coordinate and 0 is the second. So those 2 points have something in common, don't they? They both have a what in them? Ben? A 0. So here's how you find or solve for the x and y intercept. It's right here. To find the y intercept, let x equal 0 and solve it. For the x intercept, y is 0 and solve it. Once you find those 2 points, you place those dots on the line, you can graph the line. So let's look at this example right here. 2x minus y equals 8. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to write x-intercept, and I know that means for the x-intercept, y is 0. So I literally take the equation 2x and put 0 in place of y. Minus 0 equals 8. So 2x equals 8 and divide by 2. X is 4. So I can say my x-intercept is 4. X equals 4, or if I have to name it as an ordered pair, I would definitely say 4, 0. Just depends on how you're asked for it. Alright, do the same thing for the y-intercept. Where I'm looking for the y-intercept, x is 0. So I would do 2 times 0 minus y equals 8. Well, 2 times 0, 0 minus y equals 8. I can drop that 0 and know that negative y equals 8. We never want to know the negative of the variable. So divide by negative 1. Y is negative 8. My ordered pair would be 0, negative 8. Okay, now I'm going to draw a quick little graph here. Okay, so graphing my x-intercept would be at 4, 0, so it's over here. Graphing my y-intercept, it would be down at -8. And now I'm going to put in my line between those two. And make sure you draw arrows on the ends. So you graph using the two intercepts. For the x-intercept, you let y equal 0. For y-intercept, you let x equal 0. Solve it. Put your points on those two spots, and you've got it. All right. The only other thing I want to mention with this right now is that when we first graphed lines in pre-algebra, we did a table. And for a couple of the problems in the homework, it says to use a table. So just to refresh your memory, if we had to do this equation with a table, so you would do x, you would write your equation in the middle, and then you would do a y. And the best thing to do would maybe be use -1, 0, 1, and 2, because you always want to know where that line is going over the origin. And basically what you would do is take each one of those x's, substitute it in, and find the matching y, and then plot those points. So 2 times -1 minus y equals 8. And you would proceed to solve that. Probably it's not going to be solved right there in the table because I'm out of room, but I believe it would be -10, isn't it? No, you take 2 times -1, it's -2. You'd have to add that to 8, and that'd be -y equals 10, then divide by -1, so it would be -10. Okay, and then 2 times 0 minus y equals 8. Well, if x is 0, what's my y going to be? We already proved that, didn't we? What is it? -8. And then you just keep going. 2 times 1 minus y equals 8. So 2 times 1, 2, and subtracted, that'd be 6. Divided would be -6. Are you seeing a pattern? Should see a pattern. 2 times 2 minus y equals 8. What should it be? -4. And then you would plot the points. Okay? Now, I would highly recommend trying not to do that right there. I would take those formulas and set them off to the side and work them out. Okay? So graphing using x and y intercepts, again, plug zeros in. The few that they say use a table, definitely use a table, and I would recommend -1, 0, 1, 2 for that.